Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttatoosandpiercing@gmail.com and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing.
Hey, it's Jeff McNichol down here at Mom's Music, 1900 Melwood Avenue. I was just thinking, when I was a kid, the magic was at Frankfort Avenue, the Mom's Music at Frankfort Avenue, and I used to beg people to get a ride down there just to hang out with the guys and see all the cool gear. Now that I'm the owner of this store, it's like a dream come true. We're recreating the magic with the vibe that we used to have at the old store. We're carrying all the gear that you're going to possibly want. We're giving you the outstanding service and personal attention that you deserve. Yeah, so we've got the great guitar shop here. We're carrying USA Fender, USA Gibson, Paul Reed Smith, Gretsch, Jackson, Charvel, anything you could possibly want, we're going to have it for you. Mom's is and always will be Louisville's music store.
Thank you for tuning into the Metal Forge. I am Mark Jackson and I'm your host. The premise of the show is pretty simple. Awesome interviews and awesome music. If you want to contact me, hit me up at metalforgeradio@gmail.com or visit the website metalforgeradio.com. And now let's get this show on the road. What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of the Metal Forge. How the hell are you this week? Sorry, I'm a little congested sounding. These summer allergies are really kicking my ass. But I have Jerrica from the band Ramathorn from Indianapolis, Indiana here on the line with me today, and we're going to talk about indie, punk, and just some awesome fucking radness today. We had a chance to sit down over the holiday weekend and talk and just, you know, shoot the shit and have some laughs and just talk about cool stuff about the indie, INDY, not IE, like not indie rock, but Indianapolis metal scene and punk scenes up there and stuff. So let's check in with Jerrica here in just a second and let's talk. I mean, like, seriously, how is everybody? How is everybody holding up? It's, you know, we're out of the pandemic for the most part. We're just still trying to get our legs back about us. You know, I'm not going to lie, the last few 2 to 3 weeks, I've really been in a funk, and it's been kind of hard to just kind of shake this time. It seems like everywhere you turn around, there's, you know, something, you know, whether it's whatever you're on social media. So I think I'm going to give this little PSA about, you know, take your breaks from social media. It's always going to be there, okay? I don't think we're going back to like 2001 when, you know, you just had message boards and shit like that, or the 80s where you just had, you know, your notebook, even though with the cry for nostalgia and stuff like that with like things like Stranger Things and whatnot. But like, seriously, take the time to take care of yourself and, you know, do what you need to do. If you need to jump off of like things like Facebook and TikTok and Instagram for a while, do it. You know, if you ever need somebody to say, hey, I'm taking a break, can you let people know? Sure, let me know. I'll tell people. And I would be doing the same thing if, you know, as well. That's all I can say. But, so I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to keep it sweet today. I'm going to, you know, we're going to talk with Jerrica here in just a few minutes. But I also have an album review from Athena. We're coming back to the heavy metal bunker and Metal Mischief. She is going to be talking about the new Crop album. So let's check in with Athena, and I'll be right back.
Misfits and miscreants, bangers and mashers, deviants and the deviated, the tormented and the fermented, ghouls and goblins, creatures of the night. Jack those headphones, crank the volume to max, spark it up, and just relax. It's time for your deadly dose. This time, I don't think Batman's in the house.
Deadly dose.
Man, I put up like bat sensors and like even little bat houses, thinking that maybe that would deter him from like hanging out at the metal bunker. But
I think we scared him away.
Well, good. He's not like lurking in my backyard or anything, right?
I mean, we are kind of anarchists, and Joker is basically anarchist. I think we scared him away.
Yeah, but I'm talking, we're the Joker. Anyway, welcome to the next installment of Metal Mischief. On today's lineup, it's Crop. Does Crop, the self-titled album. So, you may need to dust off the bong, roll up a blunt, maybe a few joints, and if you were a teen of the early 1990s like me, chug that 2-liter of crack sugar.
Plug.
Yes, but back then it was like 3 liters. So, like, the bongs are even like bigger and badder ass, and they don't sell 3 liters anymore. So now you only have 2-liter.
True.
2-liter. And I'm not going to give it away yet, but you got to go find the tinfoil, steal the faucet screen, dump out the bathroom garbage can, clean that shit out first because tampons and shit, gross. And some kind of tool for making holes, probably like that pocket knife we all carry. The good old gravity bong. Because you are going to want to pay tribute in all the appropriate ways during this excursion with Crop.
Insert bong noises.
Alright. DM Meyer, producer DM Meyer, I want you to close your eyes for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we're going to pretend. Do you remember when we were like 10 and we would pretend?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we're going to pretend.
Mm-hmm.
It's a full moon.
Oh.
And the creatures are out to play.
Oh no.
To frolic amongst the bluesy doom riffs in the waning moon.
Oh, splendid.
Drenched in tar-like blues,
Ooh.
accompanied by wood nymphs and jazz house vocals.
Okay. All right. I see where you're going.
Right? It's a harmonious blend of doom, sludge, and stoner metal that leaves you with a mouth of cotton.
I thought you were going to say cum for a second.
Oh, well, that's a different fairy tale. Like, I know where your brain went on that one, DM.
Oops.
You know.
Well, you led me down that direction.
Getting back on track, we have 6 smoke-laden tracks of doom from Lexington, Kentucky. This is Crop's first and only album this far. In my opinion, though, it's a bomb fucking way to arrive on the scene. Released back on October 25th, 2021, it's not a new album per se, but I thought it definitely deserved to be paid tribute. I saw them open for some killer local bands here in my hometown of Louisville, Kentucky, and instantly started banging my head. I knew I was going to have to review their self-titled album, Crop.
I was also there, and I banged my head.
Yeah, I was going to say, DM, you were there. What are your thoughts on that show? They were pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, and I'm the dude that likes Radiohead and shit like that, and I banged my head pretty hard to that. That was really good. I have to say, and I guess Athena has shown me some really good doom and stoner metal that's up my alley, but for them, yeah, that was fucking terrific.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
See, you're hearing it from the guy who's not even really a metal guy.
Nope.
But
I mean, sometimes, but yes.
Sometimes. I told him I'm slowly going to turn him into a fucking metalhead.
It's slowly starting to happen. I feel like a specimen on the table.
You know, metalheads are like fucking infectious. Like,
yes, I'm a specimen on the table. I'm in the movie Thing.
Well, we're so much fun. That's just the thing. Like, metalheads are fucking fun.
I'm the specimen on the table for the movie Thing by John Carpenter, and she's inseminating metal into me, and it's gonna claw my chest. That's how I feel.
So now metal is literally a thing.
It is a thing.
Wow.
I feel it in my chest. It was clawing out of it.
Are we going alien on this now?
No, I'm talking about the Thing.
I know, but okay. We are diverting way too much. That's a whole other podcast. So, getting a little back on track here. My favorite track, speaking of back on track, my favorite track is Shame Chamber. It is very reminiscent of like the 1990s Edge of Sanity, if you guys know who I'm talking about. They weren't around for very long, and they only put out a couple of albums. But this Crop album just kind of makes me feel like Edge of Sanity used to make me feel. You know, the lyrics are heartbreaking. I mean, but we've all been there. We all know what that fucking feels like. They just put it to music. The album is pretty raw to the emotions. And although it is an enjoyable listen, it definitely puts you in a mood. And I'm doing like air quote thingies with my finger thingies right now.
She is. She definitely is.
Yeah. But I have to say that seeing them live definitely shows more range and talent that I don't really pick up from the record. The energy levels during the show were like through the fucking roof, man.
Yes, they were.
But this album is more somber and laid back. So the juxtaposition between their live show and their recording kind of like floored me a little bit. I was like, wow, like I'm not getting the same feeling or energy, you know, and sometimes that happens with bands. It's like sometimes they blow you away live, and sometimes their album is still good, but it's not as fucking like pow, you know, as it was when you saw them live. And then there's other bands that their album fucking kicks your ass, and then you go see them live and you're like, dude, are these like imitations, man? Like, I don't even understand what the fuck's happening right now. It doesn't sound anything like their fucking album.
I have to agree with Athena with this. I do. And they were amazing live. And honestly, I think that it could just be like I used to have a band, and it could go vice versa sometimes too. Sometimes you're better live than you're on the record.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's always up to like the listener too, of course, you know.
Exactly.
But at the same time, like it was so different for me. Like I just had such a different energy seeing them live. And not that I don't like the album, I really like the album actually. Same. But it's just that. It's just the energy feels different. So, but, you know, that's okay. That's okay. They're very enjoyable. And I gotta say, like, if you've caught my last couple of shows, then you realize that sometimes it's really hard to find out information about the bands and who's in the band and who produced it and, you know, who distributed and all that shit, you know. So I always try to do my due diligence and do all my research and everything, and I reach out to the bands and talk to them. I just have to make a quick correction from last week's, or not even last week's, I'm sorry, my last cast, and that was for the Tamer Isley project. Now, Tamer Isley, which I thought was a band of people, ended up being one fucking awesome dude from Turkey who did all that shit himself.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. So if, like, you were listening to my last review, then you know how badass that shit was. And he's just constantly pumping out stuff. So check out Tamer Isley project from Turkey. He's badass. And literally does all this shit himself. And I just, you know, I had to correct myself from last time because he deserves that credit, you know. I thought it was like literally 6 dudes doing all that because like all the strings and everything, but anyway,
it's him.
I know, it's just him. Like,
and we hear down the grapevine he's making a new album too.
Yeah, actually, he kind of already sent it to me before it was released. And
Okay, I didn't know if that was okay to me to say that yet.
well,
Yes.
No, yes, no.
Yes, no.
Anyway, I think if you tuned in and you enjoyed Tamer Isley last time, then you'll enjoy his new album too when it actually comes out. So, anyway, I divert, but I just wanted to say, dude, badass. Wanted to correct myself on that one. But it's because these guys don't really put anything on the fucking interwebs for me to, like, be able to talk about them. And it's crazy to me that when I go to look up these awesome bands, it's very unfortunate that there's never usually any, like, information on the bands. So I usually reach out to the bands, but I did not hear back in time for me to write this review from Crop. So, you know, we all have busy lives and all, and I totally get that. But I don't want to misrepresent anybody, and, you know, I want to give them their credit, always, where their credit is due, you know? These guys work really hard at making this awesome music, and, you know, they need everybody's support, and so I don't want to, like, slack off on that shit. But if I remember, next week, like I just did with Tamer, I will include the information later on as this little blip of my brain on another Metal Mischief. Okay? Deal? Deal? And on that one,
Deal.
I'm gonna... Here, let's... Cheers.
Cheers, baby. Oh, yes, I need to have that one.
Alright. Here's what I do know, though. They are from Lexington. Like I mentioned earlier, our backyard neighbors. There are 4 members, which I got to talk to one of them, and he seemed pretty damn cool. His girlfriend was really cool, too. She was running the merch booth and, like, hooked us up with, like, these bomb-ass t-shirts. But, by the way, you should always buy merchandise. It helps them. It always helps them. The label is independent. They are heavy as fuck. And, well, actually, that's literally all I kind of have right now. I don't have any of the band members' names or anything like, you know.
I can tell you that, like the bassist,
the distribution, or
the bassist was amazing. The drummer's amazing too, in person. It was a good show. It was a really fucking good show. If they ever come to your town, I would definitely recommend checking them out.
Well, I was actually just getting to that. Dude.
Oh, sorry. I got a little ahead of you.
So, but anyway, you can find them on Bandcamp. But be careful, because when I Googled them and looked them up, there's also a German band called Crop. And it's just a little bit different. Not bad. Just different.
Crap.
It's not the same crop, you know. It's not like Kentucky crop. It's like German crop. So.
Crop. How would you say it?
Yeah.
Croup. Crap.
I don't know.
Croup.
I'm Ukrainian. I'm not sure. So, like DM just mentioned about the show, they are actually coming back into our backyard. Our Doom homies will be back in Louisville again on July 21st at the Mag Bar. If you missed them last time, I hope you stop in to say hey and catch the next show. Buy some merch. Support the habits. Guitar strings are not free, yo. Guitar. Buy the album on Bandcamp. Okay, that's enough of ridiculousness. Hold on, I'm gonna hit this bowl and then...
Should have more... Yes, more ridiculousness, please.
Because it's time for Athena's 5-shot review.
Ooh!
Oh, this is the most exciting part of the whole thing, right?
Hubba.
Wow. So, now that we have smoked our weight in cannabis and chugged a few brews, here are the rules. Hey, I made a rhyme. 5 shots. I needed 5 shots to get through the motherfucker. 4 shots. Meh. Could have used some oomph. 3 shots. Good. Made me air drum bang my head. 2 shots. Really good. Put that shit in the glove box for traveling. 1 shot. Excellent. I'll probably have a bangover in the morning.
I've seen her bangovers in the morning, and they are bad.
They're pretty bad. That's okay. If I can't lift my head up for 3 hours, it means I did it right. So, insert shitty drum roll. And I'm going to give Crop's title album 3 shots. Good. Made me air drum and bang my head. So, until we meet again, have a most excellent time, and remember, keep it heavy. That's a wrap.
Hell fucking yes, Athena and Dustin, thank you so much for this week's contribution to Metal Mischief from the Heavy Metal Bunker. Hell yes, dig it. So let's go ahead and get into this. This is Ramathorn, and this is Never Going to Stop. All right, metalheads, I have Jerrica from the indie punk band, and I say indie like Indianapolis, not like indie rock. Let's get that straight first. Ramathorn from Indianapolis, Indiana. What is up?
Hey, man. Hey. What the fuck's up?
Right?
Yeah. Happy 4th of July today for us.
Yeah, for sure. Recording this a few days ago, for sure. From the day this airs, that's what we do here because, I mean, it's hard to get people's schedules nailed down for fuck's sake.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely hard.
I mean, which is interesting, like all in a whole, it's like being in another band almost for me. Because like, well, what day works for you? Well, does it work for, what about Wednesdays? Is that cool? No, man, I'm off. I can't.
Yeah.
That's how it is for the show. So.
Yeah, you got to coordinate. Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So tell everybody out in Metal Forge land about Ramathorn.
All right, Ramathorn. Well, we definitely get characterized as punk rock more than anything. And definitely we identify that. I think we try to do more rock and roll than anything else. But, we're just fast-paced rock and roll in your face and talk about getting fucked up and drinking and doing drugs. That's pretty much what we're all about is the party. So, it's pretty much Ramathorn. We've been together for a little over a year now. So, I mean, that's pretty much us in a nutshell. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Hey, and that's really where, I mean, honestly, that's really what Lemmy wanted to do was that kind of deal. Yeah, he touched on religion and government and stuff, but and I don't think you can go wrong with the whole sex, drugs, and rock and roll motif as what you would write about.
Yeah. I mean, we try to keep it light, of course. We throw in some things here and there, but we like to keep it light and just all about having fun and those experiences. So that's what we try to write more about and things like that. But here in the future, we might write some more political stuff or something heavier. But right now, it's all just about the fun of it. So yeah.
Definitely, and a lot of things I've noticed where. Bands today that don't necessarily play metal, but they don't play pop rock, like like shit like Aerosmith or whatever that side of rock is doing these days. They kind of get lumped in with a punk genre almost. Yeah,
they definitely do. I think that. I guess here locally for Indianapolis, we have such a major punk scene here. So we've got the rock and roll bands, but for the majority of our scene, it's punk. So, again, we get lumped into that and we're cool with it. And, we definitely have some aspects of a little bit of metal on us too. Sometimes my voice can kind of really bring that out. So has more of a metal aspects to it at times. So,
definitely.
Yeah.
So you all are releasing your first album tomorrow on July the 9th.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
yes, tomorrow.
Right. So I see the post on Facebook for it. The cover is awesome. I just love that. It looks total DIY. Honestly.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah.
And
yes, sure.
So tell us about how did the album come about?
Well, we've been together and we wanted to put something out. I suggested doing a couple songs digitally. Scotty said, let's just do a whole fucking album. So that's what we did. Just kind of came about that way. Scotty Burke, my guitar player, he's the one that recorded in his basement where we practice. He did everything for us, did a great job. He hasn't really recorded an album in quite a long time, so it was really cool to go through that and see the process of it. And we did it all ourselves, and the artwork we wanted to keep real simple, just not snazz it up too much, just keep it real simple. So
definitely. Well, I think today's music, there are so many bands out there that have the capability to record on their own. It almost seems as if like going to the studio is almost like a lost art.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And we have a lot of friends here in town that record and all that kind of stuff too. So we kind of had options, but it was just really cool for us to just do it all together, And I mean, nowadays you can fucking put shit out by yourself, and it's great. You don't have to work through a fucking label or going somewhere and get it recorded. Just do it your fucking self. So
right. Well, and you mentioned just now you don't have to go through a label, which that to me, don't get me wrong, it's like there's labels out there that would be amazing to be a part of.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But just getting to the degree of being able to put out your own stuff and your fan base just latching onto it and buying it, and I think that's a big control factor of how you as a musician, how you gauge what you do.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
From like the very, like putting out a CD versus putting out an album, how many of these do you put out? It makes you think in the business sense also, but it makes you think very real world.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, and we've gotten a really, already a good amount of people that want to get it. So it's pretty cool and pretty encouraging. We probably ordered too many, but fuck it.
Hey,
go sell them. Who gives a shit? I'm excited about putting it out digitally too. Just being able, it's so incredible putting your music out and how many people can hear it nowadays.
Oh, for sure.
You're not limited anymore. So it's going to be super cool to put them out on all the streaming platforms and see what comes of that as well. So yeah, definitely excited for that.
Well, definitely.
We're going to wait a little bit for that, but we'll put our CD out first, and maybe a couple months later we'll do the digital. So.
Right. And that's like the delicate thing to do at this point, because it's like, when you want to sell an album, you really want to have the album available. But then again, you do lose so many sales by like Spotify streams and such.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
And that's hardcore when when you're really trying to. It's almost as if it's another version of like LimeWire or Napster or anything like that. Yeah, you don't get to keep the digital copy, but it's always there. Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely, for me, and really for us, we want to make our money back for what we, what it cost us. But after that, we don't give a fuck. We just want people to hear it, and that's. The easiest access is to put it out there like that. So yeah, you definitely lose sales, but you also gain maybe a following that you would have never had, or wouldn't have heard you. So yeah, that's just kind of how we feel about it. We'll get our money back, and then after that, who gives a shit?
Right. And the CD release show is actually at Healer with Tiger Sex and Dope Sweater. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Two great bands. Tiger Sex Blues from Ohio. They played a lot around here, and always love seeing them. It's going to be such an honor to play with them. I've seen them play for 10 plus years, so always a great time to see them. Dope Sweater, they're here. They're Indiana based. I don't know if they're exactly Indianapolis, but also just another great band to be a part of. And we didn't really know at first if this was going to be when we released the album, so we booked this show beforehand, but it's going to be great to release the CD and stuff and be able to play with them as well. So
definitely.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day. All with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey guys, Wrestling Steve of the Wrestling Steve Show here. So if you're currently listening to the Metal Forge with Mark Jackson, then you understand that Mark Jackson has a pretty discerning taste when it comes to music as a whole. You'll also understand that he has a discerning taste for professional wrestling, just like me. My show is called The Wrestling Steve Show. I talk about modern and classic pro wrestling in a completely unbiased, unfiltered way. Be sure to check me out on all available podcasting platforms. That is The Wrestling Steve Show. And I am the host, Wrestling Steve. Just remember, like Confucius said, man who goes through turnstile in Thailand is going to Bangkok. Pro wrestling.
Hey Metalheads, it's with great pleasure I get to tell you guys about a new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Ageless Art, New Albany. After 20 years of owning and operating Ageless Art in Clarksville, Indiana, Phil Garrett had a vision for a new type of tattoo studio. Something that is clean and modern, sleek, refined, inviting. And he's done just that with Ageless Art in New Albany. You can find it at 2736 Charlestown Road, New Albany, Indiana, 47150. Business hours are Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays are 12 to 6. All sessions are appointment only, so give them a call and go get you some new ink. Or if it's your first time, go get your first one, baby. What are you most looking forward to in the release of the show, at the show?
Really just for everybody to have a good ass time. Yeah, I mean, cool, we'll sell albums, all that shit. But really, it's just playing with those two bands are great. And then, here in Indianapolis, we're very fortunate to have a great music scene. So everybody coming out and just celebrating, really. We'll have that show at Healer, and then the next day we have we're playing a show in Bloomington where I actually grew up. So it'll be really cool to play down there, and it's like a album CD release party for the weekend. So we're gonna go down to Bloomington, party it up, and I'll see some people I grew up with. It'll be a great time.
So yeah, it's kind of like the mini Indiana tour this weekend.
Right. Yeah.
You've got Indy on Saturday. You've got Bloomington on Sunday. Now, does Indy still have a decent, I know they used to do punk rock Mondays.
Well, see, they do the punk rock night every Saturday up here.
Is it up Saturday up there?
Yeah, and then there used to be, when I was growing up in Bloomington, punk rock Monday down there.
Okay.
They don't do that anymore in Bloomington. But yeah, up here in Indianapolis every Saturday night. Then every once in a while they'll throw something during the week that's a punk rock night, affiliate thing. But yeah, it's every Saturday night. It still happens up here. It's one of the busiest nights the Melody Inn has. So
definitely. And I know that's one of the things that I can't remember because everything's such a blur. Stitch from the God Awfuls and I were talking how it used to be a circuit deal where Louisville always tried to have a Sunday, and I think there was St. Louis that had Mondays at one point, and Cincinnati had Fridays, so you could come in and play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and do 4 to 5 shows, all within 350 miles from each other.
Yeah. I'm not sure who really does it anymore. Outside of, I know there is places, but I'm not too sure on who does it. But yeah, I mean, that was one of the big things when I was growing up was Punk Rock Night Mondays. It was great. Definitely.
See, that would be awesome, seeing unity in the punk scene and even in the metal scene. I think if anybody could just sit there and do 5 shows in 5 cities, and then the next region would do the same thing, where you could constantly tour at that point.
Right. Yeah. You could finally always have a town where Punk Rock Night is having their thing. Yeah, that's really cool.
Definitely. It seems to be that a lot of the punk shows here in Louisville, everybody is super cool with one another. It's like they always try to help out the band. And it's like, okay, well, you're coming from Indy. Well, so we're not going to take our cut. We're going to give it to you, kind of thing. Is that how it is there as well? Yeah, definitely. And,
with the Melody Inn, Greg Brenner's, pretty much the founding of that. He has a house pretty close to it that, if the bands are coming out of town, they can stay at his house for free, so after the show, we have big parties there, and the bands get to stay. And, everybody's definitely very, very giving to any band that comes out of town. We try to make them, try to take care of everything for them while they're here.
Definitely. See, that's one thing I wish all music scenes had more of. It's just the giving aspect of it.
Oh yeah, and especially when you're coming so far from out of town and having then you got to figure out where you're going to stay, and everybody likes to get fucked up and have a good time, and it's really great to have such a close area space to go to after your show, so you don't have to worry about having to drive back or pay that extra money just to stay somewhere. So yeah, it's very cool.
Definitely. we're about the middle of the year. You know, you're putting out the album. So what's coming after the album? I mean, what have y'all got on the docket for the rest of the year?
Well, you know, we're pretty booked up in July. We're playing. God, I think I have it all written down somewhere. We're gonna be playing State Street Pub again. I believe that's coming up at the end of July. That's just a little place again here in Indianapolis. They have punk rock shows, indie shows. They have fucking everything. Metal shows, that kinds of shit. They're really great. Great little venue. Then we'll have Black Circle. That's July 22nd. Again, really great venue. They kind of do more, I would say more the metal. Yeah, more the metal out
definitely,
Black Circle.
I'm definitely familiar with Stranger Attractions up there and Black Circle. Super cool people. Even with Sean and Wise Blood. Big shout out to both Sean and Dustin, because they're super rad people, and they're total behind the metal and punk scene 1,000,000%. So. Oh yeah,
and it's a great place. I've never played there, so I'm excited for that. I've gone to tons of shows there. Yeah, it's always a great time. And yeah, again, great people running it. And then we'll be playing J. Clyde's. I don't think we have anything in August at all.
Oh, wow.
Which, you know, things pop up last minute totally for us, too. You know, someone hit me up from a week from now. Hey, you want to play? Like, yeah, we'll play. So,
which is very punk rock.
Yeah. Yeah, we probably, I don't even know if we've really ever sought out to book a show. Everybody's kind of
everybody's hit you up. So,
yeah, everybody hits us up. We're like, okay, cool, man. We don't have to fucking worry about that shit. But we got J. Clyde's in September, which it's a little bar right next to Emerson Theater that they put on shows for many years. Just a little bar right next to there, and they started putting on shows again. They used to do it way back in the day, but it's a little spot though. I mean, God, you fit a band in there, and everybody's on top of each other when you play. But it's so great. It's very fun. So
definitely.
That's what we got. September 7th. That's with Soy City Stranglers. I think they're from Illinois. They're a really great rock and roll band. So. That's pretty much what we have going on right now.
You brought up Emerson.
Oh yeah,
and I don't know. Have you've played at Emerson? Is that right? Have you?
I've never played at Emerson, but I've gone to. I actually just live right down the road from it, but I've gone to a lot of shows there. Mm-hmm.
Definitely, I think the first time I ever went there was in 2001, and Exodus was playing there.
Oh, nice.
And it seems like, you know, of course we're just now getting out of the pandemic kind of stuff, and they didn't get to have shows for a long time, and now it seems like they're really ramping up a lot of shows.
Yeah, I was actually just in there maybe about a week and a half. I got a friend that's working there, and they're remodeling the place. So
are they getting rid of that slanted fucking floor?
Yes, they are.
Thank God.
Yeah, right. That was the first thing. I was like, look at this shit. You can walk right up to the fucking stage now. So
and not slide down a hill.
Yeah, it's all leveled up. They've got a little VIP section up in the lounge now.
Nice.
Actually, they'd be redoing the bathrooms. Thank fucking God, because it was always terrible to go to the bathrooms.
I think that's the standing point of any club. I will go and say, don't ever fucking remodel anything in your club unless you have a slanted floor going to your stage. Remodel that shit and remodel your fucking bathrooms.
Yeah, I feel like every time I go in that place, somebody is working on one of those fucking bathrooms. It's just like, man, you guys just need to tear this shit down and rebuild. But but it was really exciting and really cool to go in there and see what it's looking like. So they're definitely trying to improve it.
That's badass. I'm excited for that now because like standing in there, just you feel like you're off kilter because of the theater seating floor that was in there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that will definitely be a plus. I'm gonna have to make the 2-hour journey up there. And the cool thing, you were talking about Black Circle a minute ago. I wanted to bring this up. Since it's summertime, are y'all doing that outside?
Well, so I was just asking a friend of mine a couple days ago about that because I've been noticing all their shows are inside. And now that it's warmer out, it's like, why the fuck you guys not outside? I think something is going on with their noise audience over there in that area, that they're going through something right at this moment. I think there's like a church right next to them too or something. So they're kind of in a little battle about being outdoors. So they haven't, to my knowledge, had any shows outside yet. So
I hope
hopefully that get resolved because it's amazing. I love their outdoor shows for sure.
Oh, for sure. And of course, I know that they in August, I believe it's August 13th, they have Heavy Hell.
Oh yeah,
Heavy Hell 3. I might be wrong on the date. If I am, I will fix it in the comments below. You know.
Yeah.
But I know their Heavy Hell 3 is coming on, so hopefully Midnight can dedicate their set to that fucking church outside.
Yeah, right. Right.
Hell yeah. So.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now. Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soulgrinder Zine, an independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now. Here's another question of like the punk scene up in Indy that I want to ask about, because here in Louisville, it's kind of a you hear about it after the fact a lot. Are there still a lot of house shows in Indy?
I definitely feel like it's coming back quite a bit. In the last year or two, absolutely. More places are popping up. When I first moved up to Indy, I didn't ever hear about them. And growing up in Bloomington, there were house shows all the fucking time when I was growing up. So when I moved up here,
understandable because it's a college town.
Yeah, and I mean, it was constant all the time. Now, Bloomington does not have that anymore. It's definitely not a thing like it used to be, which is unfortunate, but things happen. But yeah, up in here we have Spasm House, we have Marble Mansion. I want to think there's like about two others, but yeah, definitely house shows are a thing, and a lot more people from the Melody Inn. We've been talking about, hey, well, I got this fucking huge ass basement. Let's throw parties. So I definitely think we're going to be seeing more of an upkeep in it, or people are going to really start throwing more parties and house parties at that. So
definitely, and that because see, to me, that's like the mythos of the scene that just all of a sudden wasn't there anymore, and. Or like I said, it was so on the DL that like you didn't know about it until, hey man, I went over to this house show this past Friday or whatever, and you're like, well, motherfucker, why didn't I know about this? Yeah,
and that still happens, up here. I saw that Pat and the Pissers were playing somewhere, and I love that band, and I was like, why the fuck did I not hear about this until after it was fucking over? So yeah, some of them are still just not promoted. You just don't hear about them, and then you hear about them after the fact. But it's just super cool that people are starting to kind of bring it back. And being a part of that, because that's, again, the shit I grew up on. I love it. I love house shows. I love playing them. So, yeah, it's definitely really cool to start to do that.
Hell yeah. So I want to go ahead and switch over to some general questions about you.
All right.
These are, like I said, on the last few episodes, the last few weeks, these are the new and improved questions. I've got to say that for a few weeks at least, so everybody knows that, hey, I got new questions. There's something better to look forward to instead of like what's your favorite food, or what's your least favorite food. So these are totally open-ended questions about life. They could be applied to music, movies, any fandoms out there, but mostly it's all just about real-world life experience stuff.
All right, cool. I'm ready.
If you had definitely, this one's a tough one. First off,
all right.
I don't even know how I would answer this. It is, if you had to lose one of your 5 senses, what would it be?
Holy shit. Okay. Let me think about this for a second.
That's rough.
Probably smell, right? I'll just get rid of smell. I think I'd be okay with that.
I think definitely living in the punk scene, I would want to give up smell. And in the metal scene.
Right. Yeah, I mean, sight would be too much. Sometimes I don't want to hear shit, but I love music, so that's gone. Yeah.
Be like Beethoven cutting the legs off the piano just to feel the vibration. I could not do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sight, no. Taste, no, couldn't do it.
Yeah, I really hated losing taste. The one time I got COVID, losing taste was just the worst. It was not cool.
So with that, did you try things that you had never tried before?
No, I didn't do none of that shit. I just, it makes you not really want to eat. You eat a little bit and you're like, I guess it was just kind of crazy, the mental of it. If you can't taste anything, you eat a little bit of something, but then you're like, I'm full. I guess I tend to eat more based on my taste buds. I'm like, damn, this is good. So I'll really devour something. But when you can't taste, it's like, I just eat a little bit and be done. So,
right. It's like, man, what's the point?
Yeah. What's the fucking point of this? So
definitely. A lot of people out there read electronic books, ebooks and shit like that. And they listen to audiobooks. I listen to audiobooks and stuff like that myself.
Yeah.
Do you think that takes away from the reading experience?
Well, I worked at Borders Books for like 6 years. I loved that job. And I love reading, for sure. An actual book in your hand. Also love writing. So for me, I think it does. But, in the day and age that we're in, people need audiobooks. Sitting down and reading a book is, I would say, harder for us now in this society than it used to be. We're busy, on the go. A lot of people, listen to audiobooks while they're, working or driving. So I see the benefits of an ebook and all of that. I personally like to read a fucking book. So, but I mean, ebooks help a lot of people. And it's our attention spans and things like that. They're definitely a necessity now. So, but I'm always a book person.
Definitely.
I like a physical fucking book in my hand.
See, I love to have both, honestly. I love to have a physical copy of the book.
Yeah.
Especially like music books and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I can really just kind of blow through music biographies. But like, you put something like The Lord of the Rings in front of me, and it's like, I love it. Don't get me wrong. It just, it took me forever to read. Yeah. Because not just Tolkien's like writing style, but just like I'll read like 10 or 12 pages and then I start getting the nod, I'm like, starting to go to sleep, and it's like, fuck, I can't do this.
Yeah. But with those ebooks, it can keep your attention and all that kind of stuff, and Yeah, I mean, everybody blamed ebooks for putting Borders books out of business, but that definitely was not the case.
usually bad business puts business out of business.
Yes. It just happened when this guy who owned he owned Circuit City, Linen and Things. He bankrupted all the businesses, and he bought Borders. He bankrupted too. So it kind of made all sense. He got the big payout for bankruptcy. So,
oh yeah, because big business, hard at fucking work.
Yeah.
What brand or product do you buy because you feel it is trustworthy?
Oh man, I guess like organic food. That's what that brand of organic. I always buy organic. Anything else, I'm not really. I don't buy a certain brand just because I think it's trustworthy. But yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that pops in my mind for that one.
Okay, so organic food, yeah. Definitely.
Organic food,
so,
it's got to have that organic on it.
So with that, if you don't go to like Whole Foods or anything like that, are you like a farmer's market type of person?
I do like farmer market a lot. Over here where I live, it's kind of a food desert. We don't have a lot of grocery stores. We got 2 Krogers that are ghetto as fuck, but it's all we got over here. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much just what's close to my fucking house. I don't really travel to go to fucking Whole Foods or anything. If there was one over here, I'd definitely go to it. But yeah, we don't really have a lot over here. So pretty much Aldi's and Kroger's where I'll go. And then, yeah, we have a farmer's market about once a week over in Irvington. So usually try to hit that just to be part of that shit.
Right. You mentioned something just now that side of Indy is kind of a food desert. And, I had a boss one time. Well, he wasn't necessarily my boss. He was my boss's boss. He was like a general manager type. And he was like, he pointed out the fact that Indy has no, other than the Monroe Reservoir, which is actually Bloomington, that Indy has no fresh water source. So it's kind of a fresh water desert too. And he was like, he's like, every time I go to Indy, I take my own bottled water. He's like, because I never do anything from the tap unless it's to shower.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. Trying to drink tap water out of this shit is disgusting. Yeah,
because he was like, because 3 days ago somebody flushed that water that you're pouring out of the tap. It's why did you tell me that shit?
Yeah, I got a friend that always tells me that shit, and I'm like, no, I don't want to hear it.
It's rough though, and I mean, I think that's a huge point that I think more people should bitch about. Personally.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is, the food and water situation in this country.
Yeah. And, especially over here, you've got so many people. And then when you go to the grocery stores, there's barely, I mean, it's already bad enough how things are. But, you go to the grocery store, there's not shit because you've only got 2 little fucking places over here to shop for your groceries. So it gets depleted very quickly. But we don't have a lot of options. So. Yeah.
Definitely. And I mean, that's the... I'm not trying to get political here, but that's the government at work, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, there's plenty of spaces, and you got the people over here to have another fucking place to shop. But,
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
Hey, it's Mark Maxwell at Maxwell's House of Music. Listen, all this stuff is now available to purchase on our website. Check it out at maxwellshouseofmusic.com.
We carry all the top brands, like Fender.
We got Gibson.
We also have basses.
We've got ukuleles.
We got drums.
We've got sound gear.
We've got keyboards.
It's Gonna Get Weird is the name of the podcast. We're on season 2, so you have a whole season to get weird with Frank Green and Scott Clark. The best part is there's always laughter.
Oh, yeah, you can pull that out.
We have national touring comedians, NFL stars, rock stars, your local friends. It always gets weird. Weird answers.
Have y'all ever snorted coke off of a 78 Pinto? No? You ain't no man.
Weird questions.
Who had a bigger cocaine habit, Jock Sutherland or Kaywood Ledford?
Neither one, because they stopped beating their wives.
And weird we never even thought of.
Well, no. My friend is on acid, and I sent my friend to go find a payphone so that I can call and turn myself in for murdering this guy and ruin my life.
We love all types of people, but we don't love all people.
Weird. It's Gonna Get Weird is the name of the podcast, available everywhere. And thank you to Big X Sports Radio for being a proud sponsor of It's Gonna Get Weird. Frank Green, Scott Clark. Yeah.
If you were a bartender, what famous person would you like to serve?
What famous person? They gotta be alive or can they be dead?
I'm leaving that up to you.
All right. Fuck. All right. Well, let's think about that. I mean, honestly, I don't know. There's so many people that come to mind. I'm gonna go with Charles Bukowski. I think that would be my one.
I'm sorry. Who is it?
Charles Bukowski. It's a poet and author. Yeah, he's dead.
I am not familiar with. Can you give me some?
Bukowski.
Give me a rundown.
Bukowski. He's just he's more known for his poems. He wrote short stories and stuff. But he's there's a famous movie Barfly that was after him.
Oh,
Mickey
yeah.
Rourke. So that
Mickey
was
Rourke.
based off of Mickey Rourke was Bukowski in the movie. But yeah, I mean he's basically just he's an amazing writer. I love his stuff. He's a pretty bad drunk too, so I think he probably has some.
So
cool
you
stories
would
if I was
definitely
a
get the
bartender.
chance to actually
Yeah,
serve him for sure.
Yeah, he was just great at. He was kind of around the beat writers, but he wasn't necessarily recognized as a beat writer. And he wasn't really acknowledged. He's more acknowledged after he died than he was before. But his poems just always moved me. His short stories always have. He just had a way with words and a way to, I don't know, describe everyday life that was very relatable. So he'd definitely be my one. Mm-hmm.
I can totally see that, and that's totally rad. And unfortunately, that seems to be the problem with a lot of the arts, especially here in the United States. It seems like that so many people get ridiculous amounts of recognition after they die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not while they're alive, when it makes the difference. And where, especially if there's an issue where somebody has either, drank themselves to death or OD'd or committed suicide, that, that recognition could have helped them survive for the most part.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And like his story, he would send in, his stuff and just rejection after rejection, letters. And after the fact, everybody fucking loves Bukowski now. So it's, he's definitely more like a cult classic type of dude. So, it's always very unfortunate people getting acknowledged after the fact. But I will say we're definitely in a better age for people getting noticed than we ever have. So, now we have a lot more outlets of putting your writing out there and other people seeing it. And, it's just different than it was back in, the 40s and 50s. So
for sure.
Yeah,
definitely. What is the first impression you want to always give people?
Oh shit. I guess that I'm just that I'm myself. I guess that's the first impression. Not that I'm trying to appease or try to impress. I'm just that I'm genuine. I guess that would be my first. I always want to do that. So that's my first approach with people. That I'm genuine, and that you're talking to a real motherfucker and not just somebody that's going to babble some bullshit at you. So.
Definitely. And I think that, I've always lived by a quote from Lemmy on something like that. He's like, I'm not interested in people for, what they have done. I'm interested in people people who do what they say and say what they mean.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's super important, and we just got so many, social media and everything else. I feel like everybody, is trying to do things not totally necessarily for attention or things like that, but in ways they are, and I just hate that shit. I like to know when I'm talking to somebody, their intentions are good, and they're being real, that they're not being fake. So that's always my biggest thing with people.
And you're right. That is such a norm on social media. And unfortunately, even being in a podcast situation like this, I see that still with people who come on. It's like they got to live it's like living the gimmick, I guess, is what you could call it, and, using the wrestling lingo here, kayfabe, keeping the charade, and these people who like kayfabe in public, but they also do it in their own house kind of situation. They do it in private too, and it's just it's like when do you like not be that fake person?
Right. Yeah. And I know for certain people, you have a gimmick or something that you're going for, and there's been a lot of great performers that I've seen that is that gimmick, but it's just talking to people, it's just, you want to be genuine, and I see a lot of that too. Especially I have done some podcasts with some friends and stuff, and people come on and it's like you're asking them questions and beating around the bush, and it's just like, just be real. Who the fuck are you? Like,
exactly.
It's not a big deal, but this society has kind of bred us to be exposed, but also people don't want to be too vulnerable. So it breeds different types of personalities for sure.
Definitely. So I got a couple more.
Okay.
This one's kind of a lighthearted one. What is the most annoying bill you have to pay?
Annoying bill.
It's the weed man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I actually just clean houses and get free weed, so that works out pretty well for me.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, probably my internet bill. I always feel like that one's a little too high. Internet used to be so cheap back in the day, and now it's like fucking $90. So that one always burns me. Cell phones are always pretty expensive too. I finally got my son his own cell phone, and it's always a nuisance to add another line and pay a shit ton of money. So those are my two probably most annoying. Gas and electricity is pretty a necessity. That's not really annoying. So
well, I mean, I say they're both annoying because it's like, I always equate stuff like that, like the internet, electricity, fuel. It's kind of like cookware. Cookware is fucking ridiculously expensive if you go out and buy a new set of cookware. And it's ridiculously expensive for one reason. The manufacturers know you need it.
Oh, yeah.
To survive. And that is absolutely garbage.
Yeah, it is garbage. Absolutely. Fuck yeah, it is.
So, to me, this tool of the internet that that I'm podcasting on right now and so on and so forth, it should be a lot cheaper because it's a tool, it's a business tool, and it's just been extorted to the point to where it's something that you need in this day and age, and they meaning like big business and government are going to try and fuck you any way you can on it.
Yep. And they know they can charge more because you're still going to fucking pay it. 'Cause you want it. Yeah.
Just like gasoline and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So I have one more question, but before I get into that, please go give a like, a share, and a follow because links are listed below. If you're in the Indianapolis area on the 9th, which is tomorrow by the day this airs, that's my way around saying that we're recording here on July 4th. That, please go buy a new copy of the brand new album from Ramathorn. Yeah. Do you have any shout outs you want to give today? Not
particularly. Shout out to everybody fucking listening. Yeah.
Anybody who helped her get here, fuck off. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, fuck you.
Hell yes. That's total punk, and I love it.
Yeah, that's right.
Hell yes. So, final question of the day.
All right.
If you could be a personal assistant to anyone, who would it be and why?
Personal assistant. All right.
And this can still be the alive or dead as well.
Alive or dead. All right. Well,
if they're dead, you probably weren't a good personal assistant.
Yeah, right. I didn't help them too much. I would say personal assistants. You've been mentioning Lemmy, and that would be fucking amazing. That would be a fun one to fucking
that
be
would
a personal assistant too.
I honestly don't know if I could be Lemmy's personal assistant. I think you totally could. I mean, knowing what I've read about him, I think you totally could be. So.
Yeah. No, maybe not all the way, but I could definitely get a good try. Definitely. Hell yeah. Jerrica, thank you so much for coming into the Metal Forge this week. This has been such a great conversation. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anytime. And on the way out today from the new album, what do you want to play?
Let's play, Let's do, Make Me Come. Fuck it. Let's do that one.
So, this is from Ramathorn. This is Make Me Come. Hey, thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of the Metal Forge. I want to take a minute to remind you guys about the Patreon page. Over on the Patreon page, we have the tiers set up to support the production of the show. We feature the Down and Dirty, which is just $1. There's nothing special for that one, it just sends me a thank you because every dollar helps. Then there's the Double Down and Dirty. Much akin to the Down and Dirty tier, everything helps produce the show in the end. You make your presence known, and I appreciate that more than you realize. Thank you for being a dedicated friend and supporter to the Metal Forge. By selecting that tier, you will receive some cool Metal Forge stickers in your mailbox. Now, we're really going to start pounding the metal madness with the Apprentice Metalhead for just $5 a month. By becoming an Apprentice Metalhead, you'll be given early access to the shows, published 24 hours before everyone else gets it. You're also going to receive 3 entries in any contest that we do here at the Metal Forge. You're also going to receive a 10% discount on all Metal Forge merch, and you're going to receive a sweet Metal Forge patch for your battle jacket or backpack. And now, here is the big one. This is the Master Metalhead for just $10 a month. By becoming a Master Metalhead, you will receive a hand-numbered Metal Forge Master Metalhead membership card. You're going to be given early access to the shows as well, with 36 hours before everyone else. You're going to receive 5 entries in any contest that we do here at the Metal Forge. You'll be able to submit audio questions that I will use on the show of you asking questions to the upcoming guests. Remember, timing is everything, and you will need to keep up with the upcoming guest list on the website. You're also going to receive advanced knowledge of any new merch coming out and be given a 25% discount on all Metal Forge merch. And you're also going to get all of the other rewards from the other tiers. So visit patreon.com/Metal Forge Radio today and help support the Metal Forge. Rock on.